everyone, you are welcome back to New Sweet Ladies Place once again. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making this beautiful A-line dress with an inverted pleat in front and also with a collar. So for this project, I will be using 3 yards of fabric. Get started. So I'll be folding my fabric into 2 to cut the back pattern first. So my fabric is folded into 2. And to determine the amount of the fold over, you need your hip measurements divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. Hip divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. So the measurements I'll be working with today, the bust is 38, the waist is 30, the hip is 38, and the length of the dress is 42 inches. So what I need on fold now is 38 divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. So 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5 plus extra 5 inches. That's going to give me 14.5. So I need 14.5 on fold. What I have here is more than 14.5. I'm going to reduce it. So now I have my 14.5. So I'll rule my guideline now. That's the first step. Rule your guideline so that we can have a starting point for all our vertical measurements. Like I said, the length I'm working with is 42 inches. So I'll measure, starting from my guideline, I'll measure the 42 inches downward. This is my 42 inches. And I need extra 2 inches for the hemming allowance. So this is 42 then plus extra, making it 44 in total. So the length I have here now is 44 inches. So I'll roll that. So I'm going to put all my vertical measurements. The armhole I'll be working with today is 8 inches. I'll mark the 8 inches. The waistline is 15 inches. I'll mark the 15. Then the hip line is 24 inches. Then I'll extend all the lines. So this is the length of the armhole I'm working with, 8 inches. Then my armhole automatically gives me my chest line here. So this line here is my chest line where I'll be inserting my bust measurement. This is the waistline and this is the hip line. To determine an accurate armhole, the formula I usually use is bust measurements divided by 6 plus 2 inches. So if your bust is 38, you divide it by 6, then you add extra 2 inches to it. That's how I usually determine the length of my armhole. So the next thing to do now is to start inserting all our horizontal. So I'm going to be inserting the shoulder measurements now. The shoulder I'm working with today is 15. 15 divided by 2 is going to be 7.5. So I'll measure the 7.5 here. This is my 7.5. Then I'll connect this line, this point to my chest line. Like so. So on the chest line, I'm going to insert the bust measurement. The bust I'm working with is 38. 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. So I'll measure 9.5. This is 9.5 plus my seam allowance of 1.5 inch. So I'm using 1.5 as my seam allowance for this project. Then on the waistline, I'm going to insert the waist measurement. The waist is 30. If I divide 30 by 4, I'll have 7.5. So I'm going to add 7.5 here plus my 1.5 seam allowance. Then on the hip line, I'm going to insert the hip measurement. The hip is 38. 38 by 4 is 9.5 plus my seam allowance of 1.5. So then I'll come to this hem line. on this hemline, I need whatever I have on my hip line plus extra 3 inches because it's an A-line dress. So here I have 11 inches on my hip line. So I'm going to measure that 11 inches here plus extra 3 inches. So that's what I have here. So in total here now I have 14 inches. So whatever you have on your hip measurement, place it at the end and add extra 3 inches. Because it's a short A-line dress, but if you're making a very long one, you can make these 3 inches to be 5 inches. It ranges between these 3 inches to about 8 inches. So you can extend this part by 5, by 6, depends on what you want if you're making a long one. But for this short one, this 3 inches is just perfect. So what we're going to do now is to connect all the points together. So put your ruler on your chest line, connect it to the waistline. Then put your ruler on the waistline. Make sure you're touching the hip line and also the hem part of your dress, and connect the points together like so. Can we see? So you come to this point and come up by 2 inches so that you can curve it. And you either use your hand and get the curve, or you place your hip or your pant up there. Can we see how I've curved that place? And you can also use your pant curve or your hip curve to get the curve. You can see it's the same thing. So you finish the neck area and also the armhole. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to measure the standard 3 inches neck width. So I'll measure 3 inches here. Then I'll come to where my shoulder stops here. I'll come down by 1 inch and connect it to the neck point. That's going to give me my shoulder drop. Then I'm going to add ½ inch for the shoulder allowance. Measure your ½ inch and roll it. That's for your shoulder allowance. Can we see what I've done there? Then you place your armhole cuff here to get your armhole cuff. If you don't have the armhole cuff, you can also use your hand. Just get the midpoint of this line. Here I have 7 now. The midpoint is 3.5. Then from this 3.5, just use your hand to get a slight curve all the way to the chest line, making sure you have at least about 1 inch here or 1.2. Can you see I have 1.2 here? So that's how to use your free hand to get this armhole cuff. So I can cut it out now. So the back pattern is ready. So we'll be using this now to cut the front pattern. So place your fabric on fold again so that you can cut the front pattern. So this fabric is folded into 2. It's folded into 2. Then you place your back pattern on it. Place your back pattern on it, leaving extra 5 inches. So just measure 5 inches from this point. Measure 5 inches. 5 inches. And roll it. Roll it straight down. So place the center back on this line that you moved. Can you see? Like that. Like that. This is your center back. and this line that you rule here is going to be your center front. So place the center back on that line like that. So the extra inches here is 5 inches, here is 5 inches all the way down. Can we see? Then you can cut out the pattern. See what I've done. So the next thing you want to do now is to insert the neck measurement. So because this is going to have a collar, so I'll be using neck width of 3 inches. Neck width of 3 inches. This is my 3 inches point. Then the neck depth for the back is going to be 0.5, that is ½ inch for the back. Then for the front is going to be 3 inches. So anytime you're making anything with collar, it's always good to use 3 inches neck width and 0.5 neck depth for the back and 3 inches for the front. So for front, it's going to be 3 inches by 3 inches, and for the back, 3 inches by 0.5. So I can cut it. So this is my back neck. Then I'll place the French curve on the front pattern and insert the front neck like that. Can we see this is the front neck and this is the back? So I'm going to be cutting the back first so that I can remove the back pattern. So I'm done with the back pattern. I can remove it now. Then I will shape the front neckline. When you get to this line, just cut it straight like that. Can we see? Then you can notch this center front. It's very, very important. You notch the center front. Can we see? Then you can reshape the front armhole as well. So we'll just place your tape rule, get the midpoint of this line, and go inside, go in by ½ inch. Can we see like that? Then blend it like this. Then you cut it out. Can we see? This is the front armhole line. So the next thing you want to do now, starting from your shoulder, you measure down your bust point. The bust point I'm working with is 10.5. So on this 10.5, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So it's going to be 11.5. Can we see? This is my 11.5 mark. So I'm going to rule it like this. Can we see what I've done there? So this is where my plate is going to start from. So I need my zip allowance here in front. So I'll be using 1 inch for my zip allowance. 1 inch. 1 inch for my zip allowance. Can we see? So I'll be cutting this away now. I no longer need this. Can we see how I've cut this? So I'm done with the front pattern. So I'll be cutting my sleeve. So I'll place my fabric on fold into 4 folds. My fabric is folded into 4 so that I can cut the 2 sleeves together. The length of my sleeve is 17 inches. So I'll measure down 17 inches plus extra 1 inch for my allowance. So I'll measure 18 inches. This is my 18 inches. So my calf height is 3.5. To determine your calf height, just divide your bust measurement by 12 and add half inch to that. So that's how to determine calf height. So here's my calf height. So on this my calf height line, I'm going to insert my armhole measurement. I use 8 inches, remember, for the bodies. So I'll measure the 8 inches plus the extra 1.5 for my same allowance. So I'll add 1.5 here. What I have here is my armhole measurement, which is 8 plus my 1.5 same allowance. Then on the hem part, I'm going to insert my round sleeve measurement. The round sleeve I'm working with is 10, so I'll divide that by 2, which is going to be 5. So I'll measure the 5 inches here plus my 1.5 same allowance. Then I'll use my pant cuff to connect the points together, like so. Then on this line, I'm going to get my armhole cuff. You can use your free hand. And if you want to use pattern, you can check my Facebook page. I've posted the illustration of how to get how to draft your sleeve on my page on Facebook, so you can check that out. So this is my sleeve. I'll notch this part. This is the part that's going to be connected to the shoulder. And I also want to put pockets in my dress. So I'll fold the fabric into 4 so that I can cut my pockets. Fold the fabric into 4. And place your hand on it like I'm showing you right here. Can you see? Then you trace the shape of your hand. Can we see? So at this point, I need 7 inches. So I'll make sure I have 7 inches. So I have exactly 7 inches here. So that's my pocket. And I'm going to be cutting that out. So this is my pocket back. This place is unfolded, so I need to open it. So I have 4 pieces for my pocket. Let me see. So that's the end of the cutting. I'll be showing us how to sew it now. So we will be sewing our dress now. So this is my front pattern. Can we see? This is my front pattern. So the first thing I'm going to be doing here is to sew 1 inch above this line that I have here. Can you see? I'm going to sew 1 inch. I've marked the 1 inch point here. Can we see? Then from here again, from the midpoint again, measure another 1 inch. Can we see what I've done? So here in total I have 2 inches. And stitch the 2 inches. I'm still working on the wrong side of the front pattern. So the next thing I want to do now is to arrange my inverted pleats. So open your fabric like I'm showing you here. You may want to notch the center of this point first. Can you see? Just notch here first. So arrange it like this. Can we see? Then match the notch part to where you have your seam. Can you see? Can we see how it is? So this is my notching here. I'll just match it with where I have my seam. Can see? Like so. Can we see? Then I'm going to stitch here down. I'll just stitch here down now. You can pin it. You sew with 1/4 inch allowance. So this is it. I've stitched this place down. Can we see? So if you bring it to the right side now, you have your inverted pleat. So this is the wrong side. Like I said earlier, this is the wrong side of our dress, and we are still working on the front piece. So turn it to the right side so that you can see your inverted pleats. So you can see on the right side now we have our inverted pleat. Can we see? We have our inverted pleat now. This is our inverted pleat here on the right side. So the next thing you want to do now is to fix your zipper. But before then, you need to notch this place so that it will be easy for you to insert your zipper. If you remember, we top stitch here. This is the wrong side of the fabric. Can we see? This is the wrong side of the fabric. So we sew this place all the way to this point. Can we see the same there? So we stitch it all the way here. So the next thing you want to do now is to notch here so that it will be easy for you to fix your zipper. So just insert your scissors like I'm showing you here and notch diagonally to the midway like this. Can we see? So I've notched this part. Can we see? I've notched it so that it will be easy for you to fix your zipper. You repeat the same thing to the other side. Can you see? Can you see what I've done? So that it will be very easy for you to insert the zipper. So bring your fabric back to the right side. Bring it back to the right side so that you can fix your zipper. I'll be using an invisible zip. You need the shortest zip, that short one, but I'll be using this long one because this is what is available for me to use right now. So this is my invisible zip. So I'll be fixing the zipper now. Can we see my zipper? So I'll open it. Then I'll flip it open so that I can insert the zipper. Starting from the center front where I have my notch, I'm going to place my zip and I'm going to sew all the way down. So I'm done with one side of my zipper, so I'll be doing the other side. You can see that notching makes it very easy for us to fix the zipper. So I'm done fixing my zipper. Like I said, I'll be trimming the excess away. You see, I've fixed my zipper. So I'll be taking to the pressing table to give it a nice press. Then we'll continue. So the next thing is to insert my pocket. So the position of my pocket is going to start 19 inches from my shoulder line. So from the shoulder, I'll measure 19 inches downward. This is where my pocket is going to start from. And if you notice, I've placed both the front and the back on top of each other so that I can notch that position so that it will be equal on both the front and the back. So I place them together. This is the back and this is the front. So I place the two together so that I can get the position of the pocket for the both of them together. So I'll just notch it. So starting from that notch. So starting from that notching, I'll start fixing my pocket. So this is one of my pocket bag. So I'll match the right side to the right side of the fabric. So starting from that notch, I'll insert my pocket. So I'll do this for the fourth side of the dress. You sew with 1/2 inch allowance. You sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance, right sides facing each other. So I'm done with one. So what you want to do next is to flip it like this and top stitch here all the way down so that the pocket will sit very well inside the dress. You top stitch it to the pocket side like I'm showing you here. That will make the pocket to sit very well inside this dress. Let me see, I've top stitched it. See it from the wrong side. This is what it's looking like from the wrong side. So you repeat the same thing for the other sides. I'll be doing that. So I'm done fixing the pocket into the four sides of the dress. So I'm done attaching all the pocket back on the fourth side of the dress. So the next thing I'll do is to join the shoulders together. So place the right side of the fabrics together, the back and the front. Place the right sides together, then you join the shoulders together. So you join the shoulders and repeat the same thing for the other side. Sew on the shoulders. You sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm done joining the shoulders. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fix my sleeve. Don't forget to hem the lower part of your sleeve. I'm hemming the lower part of my sleeve. So I'll match the center of my sleeve. Remember, I notched the center of the sleeve. I'll match it to the shoulder, and I'm going to sew on the dress with 1/2 inch allowance. So I'm done with one side of my sleeve. I'll repeat the same thing to the other side. So I'm done attaching the sleeve. So the next thing I'll do is to close the side of my dress using 1.5 inch seam allowance. If you remember, I added 1.5 as my seam allowance when I was cutting this. So I'll start from the sleeve and I'll sew all the way down to the hem part of the dress with 1.5 seam allowance. So continue sewing with 1.5 seam allowance all the way down. So when you get to where the pocket is, put your needle down on the fabric and rotate your fabric so that you can continue sewing. So when you get to the pocket, you sew with 1/2 inch allowance. You sew with 1/2 inch allowance all around the pocket back. Sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance all around the pocket bag. Then you continue, when you get back to the dress, continue sewing with your 1.5 seam allowance all the way down, and put your needle down again and rotate your fabric like I have done now. Continue sewing with 1.5 allowance all the way down to the hem of your dress. So I'm done with one side of my dress. Can you see? This is my pockets. So I'm done with one side. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. So I've closed the two sides of the dress. I'm done with the two sides. So the next is to fold the hem of our dress. So remember I added 2 inches for the hemming, so you fold it, first fold half inward like this, then you fold it over, then you sew all around the hem of the dress. So I'm done hemming the lower part of the dress. The next thing now is the collar, and our dress will be ready. So the collar, for the collar, first open your zip and you measure all around your neckline, starting from one zipper side to the other, all the way around the neckline. So here I have 15 inches. We're going to be drafting our collar now, and I'm going to be using my collar stay. This is a paper stay, is the medium one, the medium stay. So this is what I'll be using to draft the collar. So you remember when I measure around the neckline, I got 15 inches. So I'll divide that by 2. 15 by 2 is 7.5. Then I'm going to be adding half inch to that as my allowance. So 7.5 plus half will give me 8 inches. So that's the length that I need to measure on my stay. So this stay is folded into 2. We can see it's folded into 2, and this part is on fold. This particular part here is on fold. So the first thing I want to do now is to measure 1 inch downward as my starting point, that is as a guideline for my collar. So on this line I'm going to measure the 8 inches. Your neck divided by 2 plus half an inch. So whatever you get when you measure your own neckline, you divide it by 2 and you add half inch to that. So I got 15 divided by 2, 7.5, then plus half, making 8. So the length I'll measure here is 8 inches. So I'll measure 8 inches. Then I'll roll it. Can we see? So the length here is 8 inches. Then the width of my collar is going to be 4 inches. So I'll measure 4 inches. 4 inches. Like that. And I'll roll it and make this line into a rectangle. So just measure the 4 inches here as well so that you can get a straight line. So I have my rectangle now. The length here is 8 inches, then the width is 4 inches. The length is 8 inches, then the width is 4 inches. Can we see that? So what I'll do next is to extend this line by 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. Then I'll rule it and blend it and rule it and connect it to this rectangle that I have already, like that. Can we see? So this is what I have so far. The length from here to here is 8 inches, then I extend it by 1.5 inch. So I make everything into a rectangle. So I'll be using another color now for the modification that I'm going to be making on the rectangle. So the first thing I want to do is, starting from this point, I'll be measuring 0.75 upward, 0.75, that is 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. So this point here from this red line is 0.75. Then on this lower line, I'll measure 1.2 inch upward, 1.2 inch, that is 1.25. So from here to here is 1.2 inch. From here to here is 1.2 inch. Can we see that? Then I'll come to this line here and I'll measure 1 inch downward. Starting from here, I'll measure 1 inch downward, 1 inch downward. Can we see? 1 inch downward. Then from here outward, I'll measure 0.5 inch, that is half an inch. From here to this point, I'll measure half an inch, half inch. Can we see that? So the next thing I'll do, starting from here, I'll measure half inch downward as well, half an inch. So the distance from here to here is half inch. Then I'll come to this point and I'll measure 1 inch downward. I'll measure 1 inch downward. So from here to here is 1 inch. From this corner to this point here is 1 inch. Can we see that? So we are almost done with our color. The next thing is to connect all the points together and we have our color. But then let me go over it again. First, measure around your neckline, divide it by 2, whatever you get, add half inch to it. So I got 15 by 2, 7.5, then I added half inch, making 8 inches. So from my folded line, I measured the 8 inches outward like that. Then the width of the collar is 4 inch. Then I make it into a rectangle. So from that point, I extend it by 1.5 inch and connect everything together into a rectangle. Can we see? Then from this red line, I measure 0.75 outward, 0.75 outward. So from here to here is 0.75. Then on this baseline, I measure 1.2 upward, 1.2 upward. From here to here is 1.2. Then from this point to this point is 1 inch. From here to here is 1 inch. Then from here to this place is 0.5, that is half an inch. From here to here, half inch. Then from here to here also is half inch, half inch. Then from here to this place is 1 inch. From this point to this point is 1 inch. Then I'm going to be using my my hip curve to connect all the points together so that I can get a perfect curve. So I'll just place my hip curve and I'll connect it together. And we see from here to this point. Then I'll put it again like this. Can we see? Making sure I touch these 3 points, this point, and here. So I'll make sure I touch the 3 points and I'll make it into a curve. Can we see? Then from this point, I'll make sure I touch this point and also this point, and I'll roll it. Can we see? So this is my collar. I will cut it out, and now I need 2 of it, so I'll be cutting 2 on my fabric. So I'll be cutting it out now. So this is my collar. So when you open it, you have this. So this is what you have by the time you open it. So don't forget to notch here. This is the part that's going to be connected to the neckline, so notch it so that you don't miss it. So I've placed my notch there. This is the part that's going to be attached to the neck area. This particular part is going to be attached to the neck area. So I'll be using this to cut my fabric, and I'll be cutting 2 of it from the fabric. I'll cut 2 of this collar on my fabric. One is going to line the other. So I'll be using the stay as a pattern to cut out the fabric. So place your stay on it and fold your fabric into 4 if you are using the same fabric. So place your fabric into 4 folds, then place your pattern on it to cut it out. But I think I'll be using this glue for my neckline, so I'll be cutting one from my main fabric, then I'll cut the other one from the other color that I want to use. So I'll place my fabric and fold. This part here is folded, so place your collar on it and cut it out. So this is my collar. So I've cut out the other one on my blue part, on my blue fabric. So I have 2 collar. So I'll be using the Ankara to line this other one. So I have 2 pieces now. So the next thing I'll do is to fuse my stay on the one I'll be using as the top collar. So I'll be using the blue, so I'm going to be fusing the stay using my iron on it. So I've fused my stay on this one. So the next thing is to now go and sew on the machine. So place the 2 collar pieces together on top of each other, right side facing each other, right side to right side, and you sew on the wrong side. So before you start, you measure ½ inch upward. You measure ½ inch upward before you start sewing. Measure ½ inch. So from here now you sew it all around. I see. and you sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. So when you get to the other corner, lift the filter up and turn around and continue sewing. You stop 1/2 inch before you get to the finish point. Measure 1/2 inch like that, so you stop here. Can we see? This part here is the part that is going to be connected to your neckline. So you don't sew on it, you just leave it open like that. Can you see that? Then you sew all around the upper part, starting from here all the way around and back to this point. Then after that, you notch it all around and bring it to the right side. Then you use your iron and press it. So you bring it to the right side now. So this is it. You use the pressing iron to press it down. I'll do that. So I'll fold the 1/2 inch that I left. I'll fold it inside on one side of the collar. So this is the one that I want to be outside on my collar. So this is the part I'm going to fold inward. So just fold it inward and use your iron to hold it in place all around. So the next thing is to attach the collar to the neckline. So this is the fabric, this is the dress. Match the neckline together like I'm showing you here and get the midpoint at the center back and notch it. This is the center back here, so notch it on the neckline. Then fold your collar into 2 as well, and also notch the neck parts, the midpoint like that. So this is the part that you are going to match with the notch on the center back of the dress. So match the notch together and pin. Pin it like that. Then you continue pinning the collar to the neckline all the way round, then to the other side all the way around. I'll do that. So I've pinned my collar all around my neckline. I've pinned it all around. If you measure your neckline correctly, your collar will fit in perfectly well without any excess. You can see I have no excess here. You see, so you pin it all around the neckline like so. So the next thing I'll do now is to sew. Can we see? Start sewing from here all around the neckline. You sew with 1/2 inch allowance. You'll be removing the pin as you sew. So I'm done attaching the collar to the neckline on one side. Can we see? So the next thing you want to do now is to push all your seam allowances, push it inside like I'm showing you, and top stitch this all around the neckline, making sure you're pushing in the seam allowance as you sew. So I'll be doing that. So basically you are using this collar now to cover all the same allowance on the other side. So I'm done fixing the collar, can we see? And that's it. So I'll wait.